Oh, there you are. Hey, that's a neat idea. It's awfully hot at the moment, isn't it? Speaking of which, hey, do you like Kemet? Well, I don't. I like some of the things in it, but I don't see the need to play it anymore now that there's a game out there that scratches the same itch oh so much better. Of course, I'm talking about Lords of Hellas. Lords of Hellas is a slightly asymmetric area control adventure game set in a strange post-apocalyptic sci-fi Greek mythology setting, and it pits 2 to 4 players against each other to rule the lands, or control the shrines, or perhaps just build some monuments to the gods, or whack some techno monstrosities over the head. Whatever suits you best. If that sounds a bit disjointed to you, I can fault you, but in practice it really isn't. There's just some different paths you can go down over the course of the game, like control huge areas, or push forward into enemy territory and grab what you need. Send your hero on some solo adventures, or try a bit of everything. The neat thing about Lords of Hellas is that all of these paths to a certain degree intersect with each other. You don't have to specialize if you don't want to. You can change gears mid-game, try your hand at something different, and still have a chance at winning. It's just a pretty open system with loads of stuff to explore. And all of these things are just so incredibly easy in practice. There's no complicated resource management at the heart of the game, there's no long drawn out build up to any of the actions. There are very few limitations to what you can do on each of your turns. You want to build a shrine? Great! If you control a suitable territory, just pick the action and there you go. You want to build the next level of one of these neat composable monuments? Just pick whichever you want and it's done. You want to hunt one of those pesky monsters? Just get your hero over there and the hunt can begin. Although you might want to prepare a bit for those because these monsters are no pushovers. Well, okay, perhaps things aren't as easy as I make them out to be. For most of the actions you need to have a certain amount of forces on the board and control specific territories or have your hero at a specific place. And once you've chosen one of the 6 special actions, like moving an army or building a shrine, you can't under normal circumstances choose it again until someone has built the next step of one of these monuments, which resets the action selection for all of the players. So if you really want to hunt or build or recruit more often, you can build these monuments up yourself and use your action of choice on every second turn. Sure, you might help the other players too that way, but quickly building up monuments can be a viable strategy under certain circumstances. It's all depending on what's happening in the game at this very moment. Because that's the most beautiful thing about Lords of Hellas, how all of these actions and strategies interconnect. Completing quests and hunting monsters can help you with conquering territories. Area control can directly boost the capabilities of your hero. And your hero's attributes influence what your armies can do and how well they can fight. Because in addition to these special actions, there are some regular actions you can take each turn, one of which is moving some of your hoplites. This removes the problem that games like Kemet or Heroes of Land, Air and Sea had, where move actions were scarce and the system could be gamed in such a way that units could dance around in front of opposing armies with their pants down without being in any real danger to be harmed. Not that big battles are all that common in Lords of Hellas. It's more that the threat of battle looms over the whole game. Although quite different in execution, it's a bit like in Scythe, where the attacker usually knows or has a very good notion that they will win the battle, yet leaves themselves exposed in the process. So yeah, Lords of Hellas is great. Plays quick, looks good on the table, has enough space for different strategies, yet balances all of them pretty nicely. Any negatives? Sure, but no deal breakers. The rulebook is a bit rough around the edges. It's generally comprehensible, but it's inconveniently laid out to look up things on the fly. Some of the blessing cards fail to mention when and how often per turn you can use them. Spoilers, it's usually at the beginning of the turn and only once, but you need to scour the Board Game Geek forums to find that out. The miniatures are a bit of a letdown. The monsters and monuments are great, but the hoplites and priests are a bit small and their poses are a bit static. And finally, the sci-fi theme is completely superfluous. It's cool, things look nice, everyone's wearing these space marine armors and Zeus has a lightning whip and the Cyclops is a giant mech and Achilles has a flamethrower. but in general it could be just regular Greek mythology. But as I said, those are just minor nitpicks. If you're into dudes on a map games, getting your hands on lots of Hellas should be a no-brainer. It has learned its lessons from the most popular games in that genre and unites a lot of their strengths in a neat thematic package. There's a lot of game in this box here, and the expansions that are already well on their way will probably enhance it even more. So, did you just hear that? I could have sworn I heard something. Wait a second, don't move, I'll be back in a second. Not again.